Who's the best director? Ari Aster, Jordan Peele, Robert Eggers, these three maestros of my nightmares and these titans of terror, if you will. Who is the best director? It is a conversation that has been going on a lot lately with the release of Beau is Afraid, and I'm going to give my thoughts. First of all, I'm just calling them all horror directors because that's kind of what they specialize in, the horror/thriller genre, although they all do have one film that could be considered not a horror movie or thriller. For Jordan Peele, I think we can all agree Nope is not that scary of a movie. It does have scary moments for sure, but it's not like a scary film. The Northman is more of an action drama than it is a thriller. Of course, it's Robert Eggers, so it has a few moments that some people might think are a little freaky, but it's not necessarily just straight up horror. And then of course Beau is Afraid, it's probably still scaring all the hoes like JPEG Mafia, but for us seasoned horror vets, it's not like a die-hard crazy scary movie. I have to point out that the conversation of who is the best director is different from who has the best filmography, because I don't think that the two necessarily go hand in hand, and there is a lot of things that make these movies as good as they are outside of just who's directing the films. In third place, this might be a surprising take. Martin Scorsese just said he's like one of the most creative new voices in all of cinema. I'm gonna go with Ari Aster. And okay, hear me out. It's difficult as hell. I already know some people are gonna get mad at me about it, okay, but hear me out. Hereditary, one of the best of the 9 films we have from these guys. Hereditary is one of the best. It is the scariest by a landslide of all of these films, and I think Hereditary is like a modern day classic, a modern day masterpiece, if you will, of the horror genre. Midsommar, I think while it gets too much hate, it is one of the weaker films in the group, and Beau is Afraid, a definitely complicated movie, and it's still good. I still enjoyed it. I think that because of Midsommar being a little lackluster for me as far as the story goes, that holds it back, and I think Beau is Afraid isn't as good as a number 2 Robert Eggers movie or a number 2 Jordan Peele movie, for my opinion. Don't get me wrong, I think Ari Aster is a tremendous director. The way he frames his shots and everything like that, it's so creative, it's so disturbing, and I think that, you know, I agree with you, Marty. He is a incredibly creative and unique voice in the world of cinema, and I and you, we should all be very excited to see what he does next. So then it comes down to Robert Eggers or Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele definitely is the more accessible director. I think that his films have probably made the most money, if I had to guess. A lot of people go to see the films because they're a lot more mainstream, and there's nothing wrong with that by any means. But Jordan Peele, he is a bigger name. He is a director who a lot of people know, even if you don't even watch the horror genre. So his films are more accessible. So me saying Jordan Peele is number 2, that might be very specific to me, but don't get me wrong, Jordan Peele is tremendous. I think Get Out, I'm not even gonna shoot. Get Out might be the best film of all 9. It's super tough, 1 or 2, but it's really hard. Get Out is phenomenal. I think it's the best debut film of all 3 of these directors. And I think Us is kind of the more lackluster film of Jordan Peele's career, akin to Ari Aster with Midsommar. But I think Us gets way too much hate. Way too much hate. The main thing I have with Us is that a lot of the specifics of the story and the actual, what are they called? Like the twisted, the flipped, the scissor people, I don't know what they're called, I forget. The specifics of those people I think are a little muddled and a little messy, but everywhere else, Us is a great film. Aside from like the story itself, I think Us is tremendous, and I don't think it hurts the impact of Jordan Peele being a good director himself, because as far as how well the film is directed, I think it's phenomenal. The acting is also really good. The music is also really good. Some people say that it has a little too much humor and stuff like that for them, and I kind of get that, but I still think it's a fine film. It gets way too much hate. It is probably the weakest of Jordan Peele's filmography, but Nope also gets too much hate. Why do people like to hate on Jordan Peele's movies? Is it because he's popular? Is it because people want to like hate on him because he's a new director? Nope is a very good movie, in my opinion. I know people are still confused about Gordy, okay, But no, I love Nope. It has way too many haters. Again, it's shot well, it's acted well, and it's directed well. I think the story is a huge step up from Us. And while it's a very different story from Get Out, so you can't really compare it, I think Nope is awesome. My favorite of the three, though, is Robert Eggers, because this man has not, I don't even want to say missed, because Jordan Peele, Ari Aster haven't missed, in my opinion, but he hasn't even misstepped so far. The Witch is phenomenal. It introduced us to Anya Taylor-Joy, and just the subtleties and the quietness of that movie, it's tremendous. The way he builds atmosphere, I love that so much about him, and I love that about him in all of his films. The way he builds these very unique and like mythological worlds that still feel human, I love how he does that. Then we get to The Lighthouse, a very polarizing film. I really like it. I think Willem Dafoe's great. I think Robert Pattinson's great. Super weird. Let's get that out of the way. Super fucking weird. All right, but I still really like that movie. And again, the aesthetic of that movie, how it's directed, say what you will, it is a very memorable experience. You might not like it, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm not going to force anyone to like The Lighthouse. It's a very freaking weird movie, but I like it. And I think The Northman it's amazing. I love The Northman. I think it didn't get nearly enough attention. I think last year it was my favorite movie of the entire year. Alexander Skarsgård was great, Anya Taylor-Joy was great, Nicole Kidman, Ethan Hawke for the small time he was in, the villain was awesome, the way it's directed, and I like that Robert Eggers, you know, he's like, okay, I can do horror and like weirdness, but let me do some action, and the action it's shot really well. I love how the action is shot in that film. Robert Eggers, he's tremendous. All these directors are phenomenal. Let's be honest. I am excited whenever they drop. Robert Eggers is my favorite of the bunch. That's just my opinion. That's the video though. Here are more videos. See you later.